All right, well, welcome students. This is Mr. Von Ah. I'm here to help you with some inequalities today. All right, so in this video, we're going to solve 3 different inequalities. Okay, and hopefully this will be helpful to you. I have some notes in the description below. Just click that link. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you can get notified of all my videos as they come along. All right. So let's take a look here. So our objective is we're going to solve and graph inequalities. We're not going to get to this number 2 yet. We're going to do that next time. Solving and graphing inequalities. All right, so we're going to solve and graph these 3. Okay, we're going to do them each in turn. Okay, so first, let's take a look at this very first one. Looks pretty simple, right? We got negative 5x is less than 30. What's the solution? Maybe I should say, what's the solutions? All right, well, what's the first thing I'm going to do here? Go ahead and pause the video, and I want to see if you can solve this inequality on your own. Go for it. All right, welcome back. Let's see if you got the right answer. Okay, so this is multiplication, correct? Whenever I'm multiplying, I need to do the inverse, which is division, and I'm going to divide by negative 5, right? You got to do that to both sides. All right, so negative 5 divided by negative 5 is just going to give me positive 1. So I'm going to get a 1x or just x. Now, here's the well, before we do that symbol, 30 divided by negative 5 is negative 6. Okay, what should I do with my symbol? Should I reverse it or not? Well, you see I divided by a negative number, didn't I? All right, it doesn't matter about this number. This number right here. I divided by a negative. And anytime I divide by a negative number, essentially I'm flipping that number line. Okay, so I need to flip my sign as well. So x, the solution is x is greater than negative 6. That's how you would read that. X is greater than negative 6. Okay? Now, what I'd like you to do is I want you to graph that on the number line. Okay, pause the video, give it a try. All right, let's see what you got. So I always like to put a 0 as a reference, and then a negative 6, right? If you want, you can fill in all these other numbers. That's, up to you. I'm just going to put the 0 and the other number. Okay, so x is greater than negative 6. So that means I've got to add my circle here. So the question is, should it be open circle or closed circle? Well, negative 6 is not part of the solution set, right? So you got to keep that as an open circle. So x is greater than negative 6. That means everything greater than negative 6 is a solution. So negative 5, negative 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, those are all solutions to this inequality. Right? And I can prove that. Let's say 0. 0 is part of the solution, right? Negative 5 times 0 is 0, and 0 is less than 30. Okay? Checks out. All right, let's try this next one. I have 4x minus 1 is greater than or equal to negative 19. Okay, so again, the same process for solving equations. So let's go ahead and start with, we have an addition or subtraction here, don't we? So we got to start with that. I need to get rid of that negative 1, and I can just add its opposite by adding 1. And I got to do that to both sides. All right, so that's going to cancel. On the left side, I'm going to be left with 4x is greater than or equal to negative 18. All right. See if you can, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can get the rest of this inequality. All right, let's take a look. See how you did. Okay, so I got, oh wait, did I do that right? Plus 1, yeah, that's going to be a negative 18. Okay, so that's multiplication now, right? So I got to divide that. I got to divide 4 to both sides. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So I get x, and then 18 divided by 4. It's not going to come out nice and pretty, is it? Well, it's going to be negative 18 fourths. Let's just leave it that way for now. Negative 18 fourths. Now, the question is, do I reverse my inequality symbol? Did I divide by a negative number? I did not. This 18 is negative, but I did not divide by a negative. That's a positive 4. So I didn't change anything in terms of the side of the number line that I'm talking about here, right? I divided by a positive 4. Therefore, my symbol stays in the same direction. Okay, now let me make a statement here. Okay, as soon as I teach students about this inequality rule about reversing the direction of the inequality symbol, students just get flip happy. You know, pretty much any time, every time, they just reverse the symbol, right? No. The only time you reverse the inequality symbol is if this bottom number, if you divide it or multiply it by a negative number. Okay, and I did not. Most of the time, you're not going to have to reverse the symbol. Okay, so just don't get flip happy. All right? All right, now let's take a look at this, negative 18 fourths. I can simplify that, and here's how I do it. I got to look at what is my greatest common factor. Greatest common factor. Well, how do I find that out? Well, 18, what's my factors of 18? What times what is 18? Well, 1 times 18. How about 2 times 9? Let me do something here. In other words, what numbers divide into 18? 3 and 6 do. Right? 3 times 6 is 18. These are all my factors of 18. What are my factors of 4? Factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. What's my greatest common factor? Greatest common factor is 2. Okay? So I'm going to divide the numerator and the denominator by my greatest common factor. So 18 divided by 2 is, it's going to be a negative 9, right? 4 divided by 2 is 2. So x is greater than or equal to negative 9 halves. Okay, you can break that down into a decimal, or you can break it down into a mixed number. Here's a quick, easy way to put it into a mixed number. How many times does 9 go, or how many times does 2 go into 9? Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 times. With 1 remainder. What do I do with that remainder? Stick it in my numerator. And keep my denominator the same. Alright? So this is what x is greater than or equal to negative 4 halves. Negative 4 and a half, sorry. Or negative 9 halves. Alright. Hope that was clear. Let's try this one right here. A little more complicated, a little bit more involved here, right? So remember my order whenever I'm solving these inequalities. First thing is, do I have distribution? In this case, I do. Here, I didn't have distribution. I didn't have distribution here. I didn't have to worry about it. But usually distribution is like the top order operation. Okay, so 5, so I got to distribute right there. I'm going to get the appropriate color here. So 5 times x is 5x. Boom! Before I do this, I always forget this. Pause the video. See if you can solve this inequality on your own. All right, here we go. 5x and 5 times 2 is 10. And then I bring everything down. Less than or equal to 17. Okay, now my next order of business is, do I have like terms? Right there. Are these like terms? The 10 and the 17? They're not, because they're not on the same side of the inequality symbol. All right? But these are on the same side of the inequality symbol. So I can add those. 5x and 3x is 8x. All right? 8x. And I just bring everything else down. Plus 10 is less than or equal to 17. Let me just underline those so you can see that those are like terms. Okay, now I don't have any more like terms, so now I can use my addition principle. So I do have addition here, so I want to add its opposite, which is a negative 10, to both sides. That's going to cancel. Okay, leaving me with 8x is less than or equal to 7. Okay? 8x is less than or equal to 7. Now, I just have multiplication, so I do the inverse, which is division. It's going to reduce to 1. So I get x is less than or equal to 7/8. Is that what you got? Do I reverse the symbol? No, I don't. I did not divide by a negative. So that is my solution to my inequality. Let's go ahead and graph that. And we'll graph this one too. I forgot to graph the second one. Let's graph this third one here. Well, let's go ahead and put my number line down here. I always like to have a little 0 there as a reference. And when I have a fraction like this, I like to have like the two whole numbers in between as a reference too. Kind of gives you some perspective. 7/8, that's almost 1, right? So 7/8 is going to be like right there. So 7/8. Okay. Now I just make a circle. Is it going to be closed or is it going to be open? It's going to be closed because it's less than or equal to. Okay. So 7/8 is part of the solution set. So I close that up. And x is less than. Which direction is less than? Left. All right, so I start right there. And by the way, start your arrow right there. Sometimes I get students, they'll just go like that. And you don't want to do that because that shows that, you know, all this stuff over here is part of the solution. Now, the solution set starts at 7/8, and anything less than that. All right, let's take a look at this one over here. First of all, let me kind of clean it up. Let's see if we can graph this. Go ahead and use pink. Okay, so that's -9/2 or -4.5. Might be a little easier to see, right? All right, so here's my 0. Right here's, let's just call that -4. We'll call that -5. So that's going to be right here, -4 1/2. Right there. So it's greater than or equal to. So should my circle be open or closed? Well, it can be greater, but it also can be equal to. It can be equal to. So -4.5 is part of the solution. So I fill that in. Okay, now, x is greater than. Which direction is greater than? Left or right? Be right. I start right at my dot, and I go just like that. Some people like to just color in the actual number line. You can do that too. Totally up to you. All right? So that, my friends, is how you solve and graph inequalities. I hope this video is helpful to you. Don't forget to click on the link below for the notes that go along with this lesson. All right? Until next time, my friends, hey, may God richly bless you.